Hi everyone! Today for our warm-up, we're taking a look at the Auslan alphabet. The hands that you can see on the screen now are spelling out each of the letters of the alphabet in sign language. And you've probably noticed lots of people on the news lately using sign language to help get the message across. For your warm-up, I want you to have a go at spelling your name in Auslan. Pause the video and have a go at each of the letters in your name as your warm-up today. Today we are learning to use what we know about lowercase letters to write capital letters. Remember, you'll be successful today if you're concentrating on the size of your letters being the same, the shape of your letters being the same, and copying mine as best you can. Slope, particularly for our lowercase letters, our capitals don't slope quite as much. And your spacing between your letters, words and lines is all about the same. Today for our warm-up row, we're going to do some dollar signs. Dollar signs are like capital letters because they start right up here at that top line and they finish on the bottom dotted line. We're going to begin with the letter S. So remember, S starts just underneath that top line, comes around, down to the bottom, loops around, and then we draw a line through the centre to finish our dollar sign. Letter S, and a line through the centre. Now I'm looking at my first one, it was a little bit too sloped. Dollar signs aren't usually slopey. That line is straight up and down. Sometimes you might see that people write their dollar signs with two lines. That's okay as well, but usually we just do the one. Keep going to the end of the line. This week is nice and easy. We are looking at capital letters that are exactly the same as their lowercase pairs. The letters that we're focusing on today are the letters C, capital and lowercase, the letter O, the letter S, X, and Z. Let's begin with the letter C. We're going to complete a whole row where we do the capital and then the lowercase letter together. I'm going to begin my letter C just like my dollar sign, just underneath that solid top line. It goes up and around, touches the bottom dotted line and curves up again. My lowercase c is just the same but between the dotted lines. I leave a space and then I go again. Capital C, solid line to dotted line, lowercase c between my dotted lines. Keep going all the way to the end of the row. Next, I'm going to do another anti-clockwise letter, the letter O. We're starting in exactly the same way as we did for our letter C's. I'm going up and around, but I finish the oval shape for my letter O, and then I complete the same shape for my lowercase o, leaving a space to go again. Now some of you might be wondering about joining. Capital letters never join. So where some of our older viewers might be thinking about an exit flick like that one for our letter O, our capitals will never ever join. So no matter what grade you're in, you'll be doing the same letter O. Next, we're moving on to our letter S. Just like all of the rows before it, we're going just underneath that solid line. We're curving up and around, then coming on a diagonal, then looping back around at the bottom. Now I feel like the top half of my letter S is a little bit bigger than the bottom half, so I'm going to try and fix that on my next one. But first I'll do my lowercase s. Okay, so I'm going to try again to make this top section here a little bit smaller than the bottom half. Just because it looks a little bit more balanced. And the same for my lowercase s between the two dotted lines. Good. Keep going all the way through to the end of the line. Now we've got 2 rows left to go, and lucky for me, I've got 2 rows left on my page. Let's move on to our letter X. Now we did this in our last video, so it should be fresh in your mind. The capital X has the same pencil pattern as our lowercase x. So we begin on that solid line, and we go down to the bottom dotted line. Then our pencil moves across to the bottom line and comes up to the top. Now, like I was just mentioning before, our capitals will never join, so it doesn't matter quite so much the direction of your capital letters, particularly your capital X's, but it's good practice anyway, just so it sticks in your mind. Now I can also see now that I've forgotten to go back and do my lowercase x, so I'm going to squeeze one of those in there. Good, and a second lowercase x. So capitals, every capital begins at that solid top line, and our lowercase x in particular is in between those dotted lines. Aiming for your capital letter to make that crossing part happen right in the center, right on that dotted line. Keep going to the end of the row. Another reminder to pause if you need to. And now we're ready for our letter Z, which is going to finish off our row. So my capital is beginning with its across stroke on the top solid line, diagonally down, and across again on the bottom. And I don't need to lift my pen or pencil the whole time. Just like our lowercase, zig and zag. So I'm going to go again, zig and zag. Dotted lines, zig and zag. So really check in, make sure that your horizontal lines, horizontal being these ones here and here, are touching the lines on your page. And if you happen to be working on blank paper today, that's okay. Just aim to have them all the same height. And your lowercase, half the size of your capitals. Now we've done quite a lot of letters today, so we're not going to do any words or sentences, but we are going to do some self-correction. So pause the video, grab yourself a different colour. And when you're ready, you're going to look through and look for the very best of each of your rows. So I'm looking at my dollar signs. I quite like this one here up the top. Nice and clean. My lines, not too long, not too messy. Looking at my letter C's, I think this one here, this double, looks like a really nice consistent curve. Very tidy, good slope. My letter O's. I actually like this one here, but remember, if you are in year 1 or 2, you don't need an exit flick. Year 3 or 4, I would expect to see some exit flicks. Letter S's. I always find S's a little bit tricky writing on the screen. I quite like this one here, that pair there. My letter X's, I think they all look about the same. Hopefully yours are looking consistent like that too. Consistently good. And I like this one here. So make sure you do the same for your work. Give a little tick to the ones that you think are the very best today. As always, thanks for learning with me today. Today our guided drawing is a picture of a snowman. Let's begin with our capital S. From there, I'm going to give my snowman a happy little face. And a bow tie. I might even pick a different colour. A bow tie in the middle. So a big dot and 2 triangles makes my bow tie. I'm going to give him a hat and a couple of buttons down the front to finish him off. You can decorate your snowman however you like. Enjoy!